Here actually we have the command docker, okay, and we use docker ps, and it says uh, see, it's permission denied. We don't have
Right.
permission, right? So we have to use sudo docker ps. It asks for the password. Using this command running, actually we can see the running containers, because in docker you have containers. We can see all the containers here, but actually there's no running container here. But I'll show you one important thing. Here we have to use sudo, but actually when you install docker, we have a user group called docker. If certain user is within the docker group, actually you don't want to use sudo, but I'm showing that. Let's say I'm going to add a user call, let's say sudo user add list dash d home. Let's say I think Rene user is not in within this one. Rene and dash m dash is bin dash. This is I just use add, and dash d means home directory, m means just create that directory, s means the default shell, or the default program that which translates our commands like PowerShell, and
Right.
the name. I just Rene is already added. I think we added, right? Let's say Rene L. Okay. Sorry, here this one. Okay. And now added the user Rene, and let me set a password sudo pass wd Rene L. Okay. Now we have the user Rene, right? Let me log into the Rene L and enter the password. And now here I'm just trying to use docker ps. See, it says permission denied. Actually, this user also does not have, and also since this user is not in sudos, because I think you can remember when we are creating a user, that user is not going to be sudos group. We have to
Right.
manually add him. I got docker ps. Uh, it says the incident will be reported because is not in the sudo's group. Okay, let me exit and let me do this. Sudo user mod dash a g. So dash a g means append this
Right.
group. G means group. Append a new group, that is docker, to Rene L. Enter. Now let me move to user Rene L and let me try. Now I'm not going to use sudo. I'm then docker ps. See, now I can run the command.
Right.
Now this user has a permission to run the docker commands, because the user is in the docker user group. Because when it comes to Windows also, we have administrator group, enterprise administrator group, and we have so many groups, right? Here we have a docker group when we install docker. So since the user is in the docker group, actually this user has that privileges without using sudo. But I'm not going to use this user. I'm just going to use a normal user using sudo.
It's my. Can you hold for me 1 minute?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah, come Hey, Max, I need 8 more minutes. Okay?
Yeah, sure, no problem, Rennie. Take your time.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. Okay, here on it actually now we don't have any running containers, and we can see, but we can see the available containers.
Yes.
Let's say sudo docker ps dash a. See, we have I'm sorry, what happened? Sorry, ps, not pa. See, we have these containers. We have many containers within this, Docker host, and there's another thing. I'll show you that. This is the command in order to see all available containers, even though those are running or are not. But if I'm going to use just PS, it shows the whatever the running containers. And if you want to see all the images, because actually we need to pull the image from the Docker Hub in order to deploy a container, right? So you can use sudo docker images. See, we have these images. We have MS SQL, we have two images, and we have this is logng, and we have this. This is a actually it's a sample image in order to test Docker, and we have Grafana image, and those things are available. So these are important commands. And let's say if you want to start, let's say I want to start my SQL instance right here, right? So I use docker sudo docker, and then ps dash a. I'm going to check this, and these are here. But the thing is, important thing, here we have many, I think several SQL. I have this SQL, and this is also SQL, and this is also SQL. I have actually 3 SQL servers, right? So I just want to confirm which one is correct. I can use one method. Actually, this container ID is important. Let me get the container ID and copy it. In order to copy, you can just right click. So once you right click, it's going to be paste here automatically. So I just want to, let's say, remove it. I can use this command, sudo docker and inspect and the ID. So this shows all the parameters belongs to this container. So I just want to see something here, Rene, because actually in my proper SQL server, actually I configured my one of the passwords as SA password, so I can see that here, but I think this is not the one. Now let me go to the second one and let me copy it. This is the second one. Okay, let me use the same command. Sudo docker inspect test. No, here it is not the one. I think the next one should be the correct one. Okay. Oh, here I'm going to clear the window using clear. Okay, so I'm using the command docker ps dash ps dash a, and I'm going to copy the third one. This is the one, the ID, the container ID, and here let me clear the window. Sorry, window, and sudo docker inspect and the ID. This should be the one, I guess. Yeah, because actually I set this SA password. This is my SA password. SA user password. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this SQL instance, this container actually. We can start this I mean a container using this command. You can use sudo docker start and you can enter the whatever the sorry, I copied this one. Let me copy my container ID. I think I had to run that again. Sudo docker ps dash a. That is my third SQL server, is the proper one. This one. Copy. And now I'm going to start it. Sudo docker start the ID. I enter it. So
so it's going to start the container.
Yeah, container. So let me see where the container is running. Sudo docker ps. See, now I have a running container. I think you can remember previously when we used sudo docker ps, actually we didn't see anything. It's empty. Now we have a container because previously all the containers were stopped, but now it has been started. Now we have, see, up 10 seconds. The container is
Right.
running.
So sudo docker dash ps. This
sudo
CD
docker
running.
Sudo docker ps, actually that's a command.
Yes, right, yeah. Okay. Right, to show the running ones, right? Okay.
Yes.
As sudo docker ps show.
This is the command, right? Sudo docker ps. It's the only command. So then you'll be able to see all the running containers.
And if you want to see all the existing containers, what do you use?
Yeah, I use sudo docker ps dash a. So these are the existing containers. Yeah.
Okay.
Sudo docker ps. This is a running container. So here we can log into the container using this CLI. What we have to do is use sudo docker exec and dash it, and then we have to enter the this I'm sorry,
the ID.
not ID. I'm sorry, IT, and this is the ID. And then we have to enter the here we have to put sh. So now we are in the actual container. Actually I can confirm that, Rene. So let me pwd, I'm in the root, and here something called opt ms sql, sorry, sql dash tools, let's say bin. I can move to this part and I have SQL CMD. So actually this is the CLI tool that we can access our SQL Server database using CLI. Actually now I'm within the container. This is my container, right? This is the container, sudo docker exec it id and the sh. Okay, here I'll show you that. Let me log into the this thing and show you. I mean the SQL Server. I can use command SQL CMD and then dash s localhost dash u sa dash capital P my password c squared 123. Okay, enter. So it says SQL not found. Actually, Pranay, the reason for this error is I think you can remember when it comes to Windows. When we do Java, we set the path, right? Class path and path all. I think in other things also we set, but in Java normally when we learning Java we have to set the path, right? Actually, path means when in Windows or Linux, if you are running a certain command, the Linux or Windows is going to search that command in specific locations. Okay, so in Windows actually we have to set it. We have to tell Windows, okay, this command is in this location. So then Windows is going to search. Let's say we have 5 locations. Windows is going to search 5 locations for that command. In same thing is Linux. Linux also is the same thing. Linux also we can print it echo $path. See, this is the path. If you are going to run a command in Linux, your Linux shell, the bash shell is going to search that command within these locations: usr local sbin, usr local bin, usr sbin, usr bin sbin, and bin. If that command exists within any of these locations, your command is going to be run, but otherwise you are going to get this error, not found.
Okay.
So we have many options. One option is you can edit the path, but I think editing path is sometimes you have to do it. But here, since your server, I don't recommend you to change the path. But you can run the command even though this command is not within these specific locations. You can run the command. The thing is, what you have to do is you have to type ./sql. So this one, SQL CMD. This means means search within this location. The location that I am currently in. ./SQL CMD means that /. So please search within this location. Let me see the location using pwd. My location is opt ms SQL tools bin. Okay, so one option is you can insert this path opt ms SQL tools bin into the path. We can do it, but it is not recommended here because it's something is going to be changed within the path. So many programs are going to be broken. So here I'm using this one, SQL CMD. Let's say s localhost -u sa -b Cisco at 123. See, now I'm in the SQL Server. I logged into the SQL Server. I can see the databases. Select name from sys.databases. You have to enter and you have to run. Go. See, these are the databases. I have temp, model, MSDB, test, OMS, ITnets, Innovative, Mahesh. I just created those databases, and also you can just create a database. Let's say create database. Let's say Rene and go. And let me use a previous command. Select name from sys.databases. Go. See, we have Rene. Now we have this database. Actually, now you are within the database. Okay, that's the one thing. So there's another option. You can log into the SQL Server using this. Let me quit. Now here I'm going to quit from the container as well. Exit. Sorry, you have typed exit. Now I'm within the Docker host. Now I'm exiting from the SQL prompt and also there's a container, SQL container. I'm in the Docker host, right?
Right. So one more question, and this is just for me to wrap my mind around the hierarchy. So the application is the host, the Linux machine that's the host, and they can have within that host multiple containers which are children of the host, right? That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay, and then if I log into one container, I can technically have MySQL instance running in container A, which is independent to container B, C. Technically, each container is its own environment on the host.
Yeah, Rennie. Actually, we have to see that because when it comes to your application architecture, I don't know whether sometimes this can be happen. So I don't think that I'm not sure. I don't think that each and every container is going to have a MS SQL server. But I think most probably since these containers have interconnectivity, actually when it comes to your application, since it's a microservices, what happens is you can confirm that because you are the expert. Microservices, what happens is you have separate containers and your application modules are in separate containers as separate applications. They are talking using API or something as a one
Right.
application. So that is
Okay.
microservices architecture,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And when
Yeah.
it comes to monolithic architecture, actually we have one application and it's tied together. Monolithic architecture, but microservices we have separate servers and separate total application, independent applications. If you are going to change something within one application, others are not going to be affected. So that is the basic idea of microservices, right?
Right.
I think this can be done, right? So you have one container, and within that container you have this MS SQL server, and all other applications are talking to this same SQL server. I think that could be the way your developers follow, I guess, because that is more logical, right? Because
Yeah.
otherwise, if
Yeah.
you are going to have separate SQL servers, that can be, I don't know, so it can also be done since your application is a separate independent thing. That is also possible, Rene, and both the things are possible. We will see whether they have separate SQL servers or one
Right.
SQL server. We'll see that. Okay,
Okay.
and here let me show you another way you can use this. You can connect sudo docker exec it yeah, it's okay, no problem. This is this one, and here you can use path directly here, opt ms sql dash tools and bin sql cmd dash s localhost dash u sa dash p cisco at 123. In this case actually I'm not directly logging to the container, but within the docker host I'm just accessing the SQL server directly without going into the that location. I sorry let me should what is, okay, I know, because this should be capital P, not simple. Okay, now I'm within the SQL server, so let me show you that. Let's say select name from sys.databases. Go. See, I'm within the SQL server. So actually, in this case, actually I log into the SQL server directly without going into the container.
Container. Okay.
Yeah, and also I think, Rene, the thing is when it comes to this, I think it's somewhat difficult for you to do all the configuration. I mean, the database creation or reporting or anything using this CLI, right? I think it's better to have MS, what is called Microsoft SQL Server Management, MSSM, right?
Yeah.
MS.
Yeah. SSM. SQL Management Server Management Studio. SSM.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think
So one thing is how I'm actually following you and I understand everything you're doing. But it just seems a lot more difficult to do configurations using these CLI.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to tell you. Actually, this is somewhat difficult. You can't create, all the using create table, and it's difficult, right?
Mhm.
And if you want to get certain specific reports from the GUI, it's not possible. So now that's what I'm going to show you. Let me exit from this, right? And okay, here, let me go to the previous command sudo. Sudo docker inspect and docker inspect, and this is the ID. And here, Rene, you can see when it comes to this, this is the IP address of this container, 172.17.02. This is the container IP address. But when it comes to this host IP address,
Sorry for interrupting again, but so that is because I'm still trying to understand what is the advantage of a container, right? So is it that each container can have its own IP?
Yeah. Okay. Actually, Rene, container is actually, virtual machines, right? No, we are running
Yeah.
virtual machines in Azure. It's same as
Yes.
virtual machines. Only difference is actually it's a lightweight, and it's a lightweight. Let's say it's a lightweight virtual machine. It has a IP address. It has a, all this, all the things are there. But actually, it is not like when it comes to virtual machine, we have a separate operating system and all, right? But here it's actually, I cannot tell you exact technical thing behind the container, but it's kind of a lightweight virtual machine. You have IP address. You have
Okay.
everything here.
Okay.
Yeah.
It made sense now, right? So because I was just seeing it as one big folder, so it made sense.
Okay. Okay, but there's a difference here when it comes to, let's say, this machine IP. It's totally different. We have 192.168, right? See it? But we have a Docker interface as well. It has 172.17.0.1. But the thing is, if we ping that IP 172.17.0.2, we can ping that. That is our container. We can ping it. But the thing is, if you want to log into your container, so let me do this. Let me get my command prompt. Let me telnet, and let's say 172.16, sorry, 172.17, right? 110.17.0.2 and 1433. So this is SQL port. If I'm going to
Yes.
enter, I don't see any telnet. So that means actually no, I don't get any access. But here, if I'm going to use my what you call TCP dump, and let's say DST port, and let's say 1433. Enter, and say that this is the parameter I mistakenly did. That is actually, Rene, double dash D port means it's in IP tables. Actually, that's I mix with IP tables. That is also I'm going to teach you, because in Docker IP tables is being used for certain things. It's a main thing. This is actually packet capturing software within Linux by default, TCP dump. I'm just filtering traffic received to 1433 port. Let's see whether we are receiving any traffic from here. Enter. See, actually I don't see it, right? Because actually this my host doesn't know about 172.17, because my host my this virtual machine is connected to 192.168 at something. Actually, we don't have any idea, so we can't connect directly to that IP. But let me show you something. Sudo docker and ps.
You can't connect directly to it because it's within this source, right?
Yeah, because those are in two different networks actually. Your
Yeah. Okay.
Docker containers are in 172.17 network, but my virtual machine, my this host Docker host, and my PC is in the 192.168 range. Because of that, actually, I
Okay.
can't directly contact. But the thing is, when you deploy a Docker, actually when we deploying, actually we have to have a mapping. We can do it using P option. We can put a mapping. Here it says this is the mapping. 1433. If some requests come to the Docker host targeting 1433, it should be forwarded to containers 1433. Containers 1433 port. So I'll show you that. Okay, let me do this. Let me run this TCP down, and let me go to my this thing, and let me try to access my Docker host IP 192.168 11.58 1433. See, it is actually it is a telnetting actually. But I don't see it's on here. Why I don't see? That's the problem. I can telnet it, but I don't see it here. So go TCP dump DST port 1433. See, now I can see that. See, it was pretty much slow. See, now I see this is my IP 11.100 is my PC, and this is my server, and this is the port, MS SQL port.
Right.
Okay, that means traffic is coming here, and it is going to be forwarded into the container. Traffic is received by the Docker host, and Docker host is going to forward it into the container.
Right.
So that means
Okay.
you have access to this. Let me get the MS SQL. I think I install it. This is my SSMS, right?
Yes.
SSMS.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. This is so here I just put it. 192.168.11.58. This is my SA account, and I'm putting the password.
Okay. So from your local machine, you can connect to the
Yeah,
container.
container SQL server. So you see my container, and these are the databases.
Okay. Okay. This is like a breath of fresh air. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
this is the Rene database we just created. Actually, you can access your database using, because actually using the CLI, actually it's I don't think that it's you have to learn all the commands and everything, and it's not
Yeah. Yeah.
the
A lot of
efficient.
commands. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Good. Good.
you can access your content. See, these are the requests coming from my machine using. Actually, that's why I taught you this TCP dump and all in the first day,
Mm.
because
Hmm.
actually, let's say something is not working, you just at least know there's something called TCP dump. I
Yes.
can use this, and I can filter things and all. You know that. So otherwise, if
Yes.
something is not working, actually, there's no clue what is happening behind this this black box, right?